Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today I'm going to work on a grapevine wreath for a customer. She wanted me to do flowers in blues and yellows with a little bit of lime green, and so that's what I'm going to work on today. I'm starting out with a grapevine wreath. So let me say that this grapevine wreath is not perfect. It's not a perfect wreath, but grapevine wreaths rarely are perfect. And honestly, it's not a big deal whatsoever because I'm going to put lots of flowers and lots of ribbon on this wreath. We're going to start out with a bow. And so I've got several pretty ribbons that we're going to use. I've got, let's see if I can pick them up without dying them. We're going to use some yellows and a lime green, and then we're going to use some navy blue. We've got some pretty navy blue that we're going to use. We're going to start out making our bows, attaching them to the wreath, and then adding our flowers. I always feel like if you'll put your ribbon first and then add your flowers, you're not going to waste any flowers covering them with ribbon. So I'm going to start out with this sheer ribbon, and I just like to drop the roll on the floor. I find that's the easiest. I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to make a loop. I'm just holding it between my thumb and my forefinger there. I'm going to twist and make a loop, twist and make a loop. So that's going to be our first type of ribbon. I'm going to take my scissors and go ahead and cut. I'm leaving my tails a little long. Next, I'm going to come in with some yellow gingham check, and I'm going to make about the same amount of loops. Now this is going to be the bow that's going to come down here at the base. So I'm just going to take my wire and I am going to lay that onto that wreath just like that. Take that wire and just twist it right into place. I'm twisting it real good, and then I'll trim that up later, but I just kind of tucked it down. So there is our first bow. Now I'm going to trim my tails at the end. So I'm not too concerned with how they look right this second. I'll trim those at the end. Okay, I'm going to hang that back up, and then I'm going to put a smaller bow up here in the corner. So I am going to grab some more gingham check. And it's just a smaller, it doesn't have all the tails that the first one has. Take my wire, wrap that, and then fluff your bow. Now you can finish these tails off with a dovetail cut, and I'll show you that at the end of the video at how that works. But what you're going to do is just take that ribbon, fold it in half, and then cut a V into the ribbon. And then it gives you a pretty finished look on that ribbon. And I usually just do that at the end, but I'll take a picture and show you what all the dovetails look like. Okay, I'm going to take that bow and I am going to tuck it up here in this corner. And the flowers that I chose are some pretty hydrangeas. They actually were an ivory color that I tinted green, and how I did that was with just some spray paint. I just tinted them green with spray paint. So I'm going to take them. I cut the stem kind of short, just like that. And I have a glue pan here. I'm going to lift it up so you can see it. It's just a glue pan. We ordered it on Amazon. It's wonderful. I tell you, if you have never used a glue pan before and have always used a gun, let me say that a glue pan makes it so much quicker and so much easier. I'm going to take that stem and dip it right down into my glue. And then I am going to tuck that hydrangea right into that grapevine wreath. Okay, so there's our green hydrangeas. Just kind of tucked here and there. All right, next we're going to come in with some sunflowers. So this is a stem we actually have on our website. It's just a sunflower stem. It has the single flower and then lots of pretty foliage, which I love because you can separate it. So I'm just cutting this raffia that holds all the flowers together. Just cut that. Now this would be great stuck down in a vase if you wanted to, but it's perfect to take apart, take all those stems apart and use them in a wreath or an arrangement. So I have lots of pretty greenery, and I am going to use 3 of these stems of flowers. All right, so I've got them all separated. I'm just coming in with a little bit of our, well, let's stick our flowers and then we'll fill in with our greenery. So these are pretty little yellow sunflowers. So I think, oh, my nose is itching. I'm going to use my wire snips. I cut that stem at the length that I needed it. I'm going to dip that right down into that glue. So we're going to take our 3rd flower. I just tucked him in some glue. We're going to tuck him over on this side. All right, and then next we're going to come in with some really pretty blue colored flowers. So this is kind of that navy blue that we have in the ribbon. These are just a pretty mom chrysanthemum. So I'm just going to take each of those blooms and I'm going to cut them off of this stem. Okay. Got those flowers just cut off the stem. I'm going to dip that flower right down in that glue. And so each stem you're just going to dip in the glue and then place it wherever you want it. I love this pretty blue with the yellow. I just think it's such a pretty color combination. And I love the addition of the green. So I did this exact wreath pretty close, pretty similar, but without the lime green. And I think I love the lime green added. It's just a really pretty pop of that pretty lime color. So there are our blue flowers tucked in. And I'll bring it a little closer. All right, now here's where the magic happens. This is where, when you start adding your greenery, it really starts coming together and looking like a fancy wreath. So we have some eucalyptus. That's a little different right there, I think. And the wonderful part about when you do a wreath like this, you can hang it and have it hanging down however you want to. There's no, again, right or wrong. You can really do it however you want to. We're going to start out with some of our eucalyptus. So we've got some, this is a spiral euc. And I'm actually going to take it and cut it into smaller pieces. Instead of having it in 3 stems on one, we're going to do 3 individual stems. So I'm just going to take that and dip each stem right into my glue. All right, and then I love these little pods. They're kind of red. They have a little bit of red to them, but isn't that a pretty little red pop? So we're going to tuck just a little bit of that in here. Again, these are stems that came with those sunflowers. Now the nice part too about a wreath like this is that everything that you tucked in is usually on a wire. So it can all be adjusted a little bit as need be. But there is our finished wreath. So you can see how I love that little pops of red tucked in. But there it has the ribbons tucked in. And you can see how it kind of has dimension and movement. When the wind blows, it'll move, which is so nice. But there is our finished wreath. Guys, if you have any questions about how we do things here at the flower shop, you can always ask. You can drop it here in the comments or send us a message. We are so happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you have not already subscribed to our channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And that little bell will give you notifications for when we have a new video. We'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.